Hello YouTube, this is Frugal Happy New Year, and this, for those of you who haven't already guessed, is Euro Truck Simulator 2! I'll talk about why I'm playing this in a minute, but let me just dive in and grab a job. For those of you who don't know, it's a sim about driving a truck all over Europe, making money. There's a new one coming out in about a month's time, February the 3rd, which is American Truck Simulator, that I'm more interested in playing. But here we are in Euro Truck Simulator, kind of getting up to speed on how it works, because I'm very new at this. I've only been driving it all day, pretty much, one day. And so learning the ins and outs of Euro Truck Sim and how to do everything. I am running some mods on this. I'm actually running Pro Mods 2, and another one I think is called Frosty, to give us the winter textures. And you can see, because we're running Pro Mods 2, incidentally, we're in Scotland and we're going to be going up to Iceland via the Faroe Islands, which I've never done before, so that should be interesting, but that's going to pay us 14,000 euros if we get it right. Anyway, Euro Truck Sim 2, why this? Well, this is a title that on and off a number of you have requested over the years that I play or drive or sim on the Frugal Sim channel, so here we are. And with American Truck Sim coming, did that start? I don't hear any sound in my headphones. Oh, I've got it very quiet. Hang on. What the heck? Yeah, so with American Truck Sim coming, I thought I would spend some time in it. I have actually owned it for a very long time, but then with the Steam sales going on, I decided to jump on board and pick up a bundle that had all the DLC as well. So that's where we are. And I gotta say, I'm very much enjoying it. Turn the lights on before we get a ticket. You do get tickets in this for such things. Now, I don't know what I'm doing. I am very new. So hopefully that doesn't detract from your enjoyment of the video too much. I think the exit is right in front of us, so we're going to indicate to turn right. And I'm guessing we're going to be driving out to the ferry. That's interesting. I've been driving all over Europe, obviously on the right hand side of the road, in left-hand side drive trucks, but now I'm in Scotland. It's assigned me, because I don't have my own truck yet, it's assigned me a right-hand drive truck for driving on the left. I've got to remember and pay attention to drive on the correct side of the road. Obviously, living in America, we drive on the wrong side, or the right side, depending on how you look at it, of the road, and it's taken me a little bit of mind gymnastics to get back in the groove of driving on the left. And also managing roundabouts, which we don't typically have in America that much. There are some here and there, but nothing like what there are in Scotland and England. But anyway, Euro Truck Sim. So, as I said, a number of you over the years have asked for this to be on the channel. And I've been thinking a lot about the channel over Christmas and leading up to Christmas, because I've started to collaborate, which I don't do. Many of you will be intimately familiar with my little policies, and one of my policies is I don't collaborate. I used to collaborate on the Frugal Pete channel, and it's just awkward sometimes, you know, trying to arrange a time where 2 or more people can get together. But then I joined Code Zero last year, beginning of last year. I got invited to join Code Zero with Bay Area Bugs and Jeff Favignano and the Northern Alex and all those wonderful people, which gave me some opportunities to collaborate more last year, mainly for Frugal Pete content. And then a month or so before Christmas, started to spend a bit more time talking. I gotta watch my speed limit, by the way. Oh, I don't need that. Hang on, let me turn that off. There we go. Because we have a proper GPS in this. I started talking a lot more with the Northern Alex. You should check out his YouTube channel. It is linked in the show notes below. Because Alex is somewhat similar to me. He likes Sims. He's an, I was going to say he's an elderly person, but he's not. He's actually younger than me. But he's more mature in terms of age and has a more mature audience as a result as well, like I do. I mean, a lot of the guys in Code Zero have a very young audience, and my audience on Frugal Sim is, by and large, old. I know there are a lot of youngsters here as well, but by and large, the audience on Frugal Sim is getting on a bit. I don't need to turn there, so let's not turn. So we have some similarities there. He also likes Sims, and he was talking to me about he wants to do more flight sim stuff and more space sim stuff, and we're going to start doing some flight sim videos together. We've already recorded some space sim videos with Elite Dangerous, and we're going to be doing a lot more. Anyway, he and I got chatting, and that got me thinking about the channel. And you know, another similarity between him and myself is that YouTube for him is part-time, and it's part-time for me as well. I have my own business, and that is the primary source of income to pay the bills and support my family. YouTube is very much a hobby, a very successful hobby that pays for itself. So it seems strange then, given that it's a hobby, a little bit of fun, it's hard to drive this and talk. It seems strange that in the past I've kind of been forced down a path that I'm not happy with, where I'm doing a lot of very hardcore simulation stuff and being constantly pushed to do more and more and more. That takes a long time to prepare. I'm getting way over revving this. It takes a long time to prepare, a huge amount of time to edit, and after you put in all that effort, it's often difficult to find the enthusiasm needed to do it again and again and again. There's that. And also, you know, it's very strange doing YouTube and Twitch and all that other good stuff, because quite often the stuff that you're asked to produce or demanded to produce isn't necessarily what you think would make a good video. And I get that with Frugal Sim a lot. People saying, do a flight from here to there. Well, really, I can, but it's really no different to the other flight I did from there to here. It's almost exactly the same. It's just a different route, but by and large the video is going to play out the same way. And you know, that's not to say I mind doing those or I'm going to stop doing those. I'm not. Please don't panic. I'm not stopping doing flight sim at all. At all. Trust me. There's actually more flight sim coming than you had last year. I'm just saying, you know, it's tricky. It's tricky to get enthusiastic about doing that kind of stuff over and over and over again as the YouTuber. So, you know, I made a decision a while ago, because out of however many thousand people there were watching the channel at the time, a handful of people very loudly said all they wanted to see was flight simulation. And I kind of took that to heart, and that's all there has been for the past year, is flight simulation. But I've decided to change that. I like to do a lot more stuff than just flight simulation. I like simulation in general. I like thinking games, grown-up games, mature in the sense that, you know, they require a bit of thought, maybe slower paced than Call of Duty Modern Warfare and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to start bringing some of that content back. The Sims and the Sim-like content specifically. So you are going to be seeing Elite Dangerous. You are going to be seeing Euro Truck Sim. You are going to be seeing American Truck Sim. You are going to be seeing Star Citizen, because I'm very interested in that and I want to see how it grows. So I'm about to buy into that and make videos on it and give you my perspective on what RSI call a space sim. So you're going to be seeing more stuff like that. The normal AAA games that I still play are going to remain on Frugal Pete, but I don't know for how much longer. I might start bringing those over as well, because again, if you go and look at the recent Frugal Pete stuff, it's not terribly out of whack with Frugal Sim. I've actually been doing hacking sim stuff and programming sim stuff. You know, realistically, I could pull a fast one and go, here's a video on how to hack in a hacking sim, because it's a sim. This is Frugal Sim, but I won't. I think that's pushing it a bit too far. But you are going to start seeing more driving sims, more space sims. So sims and sim-like. And I guess the overriding constant there is that you tend to always be in a vehicle. You know, some form of vehicle or vessel or whatever else. And it's going to come back, because I enjoy doing it. And also, because these videos do not require anywhere near the amount of time, planning, and everything that goes into a, say, a fully loaded flight video, I can put a lot more up. And more than anything else, more than any other request, complaint I get on the channel, the number one is make more videos. Make more videos, Frugal. And again, with this not being my full-time job, with me having a family, with me having very professional and demanding commitments outside of YouTube, it's hard to make more videos unless you guys let me film stuff that is easier to film. You know, I tried at the beginning of last year, I tried 3 formats at the beginning of last year: the news show, Frugal's Hangar, and vlogging. And vlogging is just hard to do. You know, it's very hard sometimes just to find stuff to ramble on about needlessly, aimlessly. Frugal's Hangar was basically it was a way for me to jump in an aircraft that I haven't got very familiar with and record it. I thought, great, this answers the question of you guys saying, give us more videos, and make it flying. And I thought that would be a wonderful solution. And then I found 4 episodes into the year with Frugal's Hangar, the angry people turned up. You shouldn't be filming this if you don't know what you're doing. Well, you should. You kind of should. I think I fell into a trap of taking myself a little bit too seriously with the simulation, and as a result, the channel and the viewers, the more vocal viewers in particular, also fell into the same trap of taking Frugal a little bit too seriously. At the end of the day, this channel is about simulation, and I will always, with simulation, try to make videos that are as realistic as possible. I will try very hard to do that. I mean, the core tenet of the channel, the core reason for being of the whole channel, was to show people that with what is effectively a video game, that you can do the sorts of stuff that professional pilots do without a significant financial outlay. And I think I succeeded there, and I will continue to do that. But at the end of the day, FSX is still a video game. Prepared, despite what Lockheed Martin might say, is just a very sophisticated video game. And with that in mind, it really doesn't make too much sense for me to relentlessly haul myself over the coals by taking comments to heart or not putting up videos that I record, and there's a lot of those, by the way, because I missed the switch, or I missed some procedure, or I did something wrong and laughed about it. And that happens a great deal. I record videos, and because I know that there is that core viewer group here who want everything to be absolutely, amazingly spot on realistic, that if I get too many things wrong in a video, I'll actually ditch it. And if you think about it, on a fully loaded video that takes 4 hours, really, from A to B, including the planning, with me stopping and re-recording the whole thing, which I do, I know I can kind of slice them together, but I don't. I tend to re-record the whole thing. With me doing that, if I get that wrong a couple of times, that's a huge amount of wasted time. And again, that contributes to there not being as many videos as you guys love. So, whoa, something's going on here. Everybody seems to have stopped. So hopefully this addresses that. I'm still doing the flight sim videos. I'm going to continue to do those. I've tried very hard to get more and more out, despite being a part-time YouTuber and having very much full-time commitments elsewhere. I've done pretty well. There's been quite a lot of content on this channel, particularly in the last month or two. And I'm very happy that there has been. And I just want to keep that up. And I think with me doing sim-like stuff and non-flight sims, there's two ways of listening to those words. I think with me doing that, I can hit that goal. I can give you a lot more content regularly. I can get some fun back. I mean, ultimately this is supposed to be fun. And everybody's happy. That clicking, by the way, is my gear shift. Using my Fanatic CSR Elite. It has a very clicky gear shift. I am also using Fanatic CSR Club Sport pedals, not CSR, Club Sport pedals. With clutch, I am changing gear properly, albeit at the wrong time, because it is very, very hard to commentate and drive a large truck. So anyway, let me know in the comment section below what you think about that. In fact, I thought about what I would say at this part of the video. Leave a comment in the comment section below to tell me what you think about that. Realistically, I need to know how many of you think it's a good idea, more than how many of you think it's a bad idea, because I ended up in this spot by listening to the people who think stuff is a bad idea, and I'm not very happy with where it's taken me, to be honest. So I'm more interested to see how many of you think it's a good idea to bring sim-like content and non-flight sim content to the channel. I think it's a lot of fun. Anyway, as I said, this is Euro Truck Simulator 2. We are in Scotland. I don't know how to drive very well in a truck. I'm trying to change gears properly. I'm trying to keep the RPM there in the power band, that little green band. You actually have to change gears quite a lot on a truck. I didn't realize before I started to drive this, they have a huge number of gears. This has 12 gears, for example. So my 5-speed H pattern shifter on my Fanatic CSR, I've actually got that in what they call split mode. So it goes 1 through 6 or whatever it is on the gears, 6-speed 8-shifter. It goes 1 through 6, and then you press a button, and then it's no, actually it doesn't. It goes 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, and then you press a button, and the shifter will do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. So I'm using that because I did my research before playing today and before filming this on how people change gears and how people manage the gears in these things. And the general consensus was that the real guys do, see, there's the realism, the real guys do skip gears quite happily. So I'm doing that, I'm skipping gears. I'm not typically using the odd number of gears, although when I arrived just before filming this in Scotland to film this, I did find with some of the steep gradients here, I was having to drop down from 12th to 11th a few times to keep the power up. Oh my goodness. For those of you who don't know, a CSR, Fanatic Club Sport pedals have a load cell. Not like your typical plastic pedals. You really, oh, I see if I can get through that light. No, I'm going to get a ticket. You really have to apply some pressure to get maximum braking, which I find actually pretty cool for driving a truck like this as well. Pro Mods 2 came out just before Christmas. That's the mod I'm using. It extends the map significantly, adding a number of countries, more detailed towns, and events along the roadside as well, such as crashes, and I think maybe the roadworks you just saw are courtesy of Pro Mod 2 as well. I decided when I wanted to film Euro Truck Simulator that I really would try to film it at its best, so I did look on Reddit. I did find out what people rate as the best mods out there. It's a game that is very mod friendly, and this Frosty thing, I think it's called Frosty. Again, there's links in the show notes as to what the mods are. For the snow and Pro Mods 2 were the overarching favourites, which is why they're installed, and I'm loving it. I'm really loving it. Although, you know, that droning engine, I have been driving this, playing this, call it what you will, for about 5 hours. it got to the point actually where I didn't realise what time it was. My kid came in and said goodnight to me, which means it's 8:30. One more trip, and I did one more trip, and then the next thing I know, the older kid is coming in and saying goodnight to me, which means it's 10 o'clock. That escalated quickly. So it's one of those titles that just kind of draws you in, but after 5 hours or so of listening to this truck engine drone, you know, I feel like a 7-year-old in the back of my dad's car on a long journey, and I just want to fall asleep. That's not to say I'm not having fun, it's just that droning sound that is so very good at sending most people to sleep. But I'm enjoying it very much. And I've got to say, I don't really know why I'm enjoying it. I tried to think about that as well before recording this. If Euro Truck Sim is a simulator about driving a truck between A and B, you know, then Microsoft Flight Simulator is a simulator about flying from A to B. There's not really much difference between them. We all enjoy Flight Sim. What is the attraction in this? And I really don't know. I think it's, you know, mastering this vehicle, not having as many heart-stopping moments as you just seen where I nearly rear-end somebody. Whoa! Not doing that. Learning how to manage the gears properly. Let's switch this and go down to 11th. And keep the truck operating in its power band. And not have any near misses with other vehicles. It's just, I guess it's a bit like flight sims. The more practice and time you put in, the slicker and smoother you get, and you really do notice things starting to flow together. One left turn flowing into one right turn, you know, slowing down, being in the right gear to not grind to a halt, but to keep moving. And gear changes like that, where you're changing properly and not hearing the grinding in the transmission. You know, all these little things, the more practice you put in, start to flow together, and it just feels nice. Switching my gearbox there up into 11th because we are going uphill. I want to keep the speed up. You can see on my little GPS display it says 97. I've actually got the speeds here in kilometers. Because as I said, I have spent most of the day driving in Europe where they do use kilometers per hour, but here we are in Scotland where they're using miles per hour, so you're seeing speed limit signs go past saying 60, which translates to 97 kilometers. And I got a left turn coming up because we are heading to the ferry at Thurso in order to go on up to the Faroe Islands, which will be kind of cool. I don't have history with this title, so it's not as profound for me to end up in the Faroe Islands in Euro Truck Sim, but I know a lot of you are very familiar with it because you've been asking for it, so those who have not seen Pro Mods 2 will probably get a kick out of seeing somewhere completely different. I've been trying, oh god, truck after truck after truck heading away from the ferry. Busy freight ferry, huh? I've been trying to improve my reversing skills when I park this. So I'm yawning. When I parked, trying to back it into the spot to drop off the trailer. More trucks, look at that. It's very, very tricky. Very tricky because everything's back to front. Like you want the trailer to go left, so you turn the wheel to the right, and you know, it sounds on the surface of things so very simple, but when you try it, everything goes all kind of upside down. But I'm getting better, I'm getting there. I have every drop-off parked rather than just wimping out and hitting the enter key to end the mission. I have actually parked my truck and picked up what little bonuses there are for parking my truck. Because again, sim. Trying to do it in a realistic fashion. And not cheat. In the same way that in most flight sims I actually don't know many of the key presses. I would rather have things bound to buttons on panels and yokes and joysticks because that's more realistic. Anyway. Oh my goodness. Now on my other computer that's recording this, I have actually lost track of my timer, so I don't know how long I've been yammering away already. Oh, boom, boom, boom. Does feel like quite a while. Might split this into 2 parts. Thurso, we are there. The speed limit changed. Where am I at? I needed to turn. Oh my goodness. I keep doing that as well. I keep misreading this GPS. It's not the most intuitive GPS in the world. I would much rather they put in a voice GPS like we have in our cars. Oops, just bashed my microphone. Like we have in our cars that says turn left in this far. Rather than trying to read a somewhat cryptic display. Now that sign says ferry left. So I hope it's not lying to me. I'm trying not to get the trailer to jump up on the pavement there. Changing gears quite rapidly to try to keep in the green power arc. But that you just heard was me changing gear at the wrong time. Or going too fast. Now, when I did this earlier, because I took a ferry somewhere else, there was a little highlighted spot where I had to stop. And I'm not seeing that here. Uh-oh. There it is, actually in the ferry today. Alright. Let's turn a little tighter. Make sure these big containers here don't scrape. Oh, this ferry is just big enough for me and nobody else by the looks of things. And in we go. Right, view your possible travel destinations. I'm going to be going to Tórshavn, and I will see you when we get there.